There were quite a lot of letters that came about the wedding dress, Jennifer's wedding dress, and where could they get one? And I think we generally steered people in the right direction. The hat that Alison wore to the wedding with the feathers down the back and things, which I wasn't there on the day, and she rang me up and said, "Dinah, we don't know which way round this is supposed to go." And in the end, it doesn't really matter. You know, she could have had the feathers across the front, she could have had them, and they were on the back. And there she is bobbing along with the family.
Rather to our surprise, it was really very well received by the Jane Austen Society, because even if they could see it was an intelligent adaptation, we weren't doing all the extra things that we did, you know, just for the sake of it or just to make a sensation or anything, that we did have reasons for it. So even if they didn't entirely agree with what we'd done, they could see the point of it. No, I mean, we did get some criticisms along the lines of, I suppose you realise that the kind of pen Darcy was writing with had not been invented until 20 years after. Which we thought, oh dear, you know. And one always gets this, and those flowers were very modern flowers, very modern tulips, and you used to get those kind of things as well, and you think, oh dear.
Very elegant. Better pleased with themselves than what they see, I think.
The difference between the two camps was something that was terrific to do, really, because they, you know, the Bingleys can be, you know, all glamour and, you know, Gucci, really, feathers and bits of this and that. And it was fantastic to use the very bright colours on them. There was an orange dress which was overlaid. I think it was a very bright orange underneath. And I remember going, oh no, because I thought I'd been too bold. But actually, it's just fantastic.
I think my favourite scene in the whole thing is the one in the music room at Pemberley, which is the moment when I think she first realises that she's deeply in love with him. Jane Austen writes such wonderful lines, but when it's a film or a visual thing, the best moments come when nobody's saying anything and it's just looks, and that was the best scene for me of the whole thing, certainly the most moving one. They just did all this so perfectly. I mean, usually when I'm writing something, you know, I get moments here and there when I think, oh, you know, they could have acted that a bit better, but I never really felt that in Pride and Prejudice. Once or twice towards the end, I thought there were bits that I could have done better. There's a bit right at the end when he finally makes his proposal.
Dearest, loveliest Elizabeth.
They seem to be doing it on the walk, and I thought they shouldn't. I should have written in quite clearly that they stop walking, and because you've got to have them standing still so that you can get those wonderful looks and glances between them. And you know, in a way, I wish I could have the chance to rewrite just that scene anyway.
I think Pride and Prejudice is one of those enduring pieces. It's a cracking story. It's got all the elements of romance, passion, unrequited love, frustration, the class divide, snobbery and vanity, and those eternal themes. And it'll be one of those pieces, I think, which people perhaps in 50 years' time will look back on as a defining moment, certainly in television drama, but it also stimulated a whole raft of feature film period adaptations, you know, Sense and Sensibility following hard on the heels. And suddenly, Austen was the Entertainer of the Year in Entertainment Weekly magazine in the US, or Vanity Fair calling the hottest writer in entertainment. I think bizarre. She's been dead for nearly 200 years, and she's bigger than John Grisham.